Hi, happy Tuesday, everyone.
Hi everyone.
Ejima. Been a few weeks, but we are back like we never left. And I'm so thankful for everyone who has joined us. We don't really have a topic today. That was like we couldn't really think of anything specific. We don't want to just keep talking about Charlotte this, Houston that. Like we've said before, it gets kind of redundant. So we just said let's just make it just live where we just talk about anything. Like we could talk about anything. We could talk about relocation. You could talk about moving to Charlotte. We could talk about moving to Houston. I know people's favorite dating. Just talk about life, mental health awareness month, just anything in general. Just we were missing having this. I feel like it keeps us on track having this consistent weekly meetup. But sometimes we just feel like there's nothing to really talk about, and we don't want to just come online and just be so repetitive or redundant. But with that said, happy May, because we haven't been live in May. So happy May, everyone. Don't forget to like this live. Okay.
Your audio sounds far.
It sounds far.
Can you hear me properly?
Mm-hmm.
Let me change it.
Does it sound better?
Yeah, it sounds better.
Yes. I just want to move my mic closer.
Okay. All right, people are joining. So we went live, what, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
I think last time we went live was 3 weeks ago, and we talked about, it was a second video about why people are leaving Charlotte. So it was like the part 2 of the one we had did the week before, where I played that Instagram about Instagram reel about Charlotte being like an Airbnb. That was our last live. It's like, oh my gosh, time flies. Today's already May 14th.
Crazy. Tomorrow's halfway through the month. Like, how are we already in May? Like, I don't even understand. Like, May 1st was 2 weeks ago from tomorrow. Like, I feel like it was like yesterday. Like, when they really say as you get older, the time goes quicker, I believe it. Because the way time goes now, I'm just like, if you see if you feel a certain type of way, let let your girls know, because time is going, like, oh,
that's another topic. I don't know how you related both of those. I guess you mean like time waits for no one. So basically, let's talk about ego and pride. Let's talk about ego and pride. Basically, that sounds like kind of what you're talking about. And you said 2024 is over.
Girl, I'm trying to still plan summer trips, and I'm like, I'm wasting time. Like, May is almost done. Like, if I don't book nothing this month, I'm not going anywhere. But especially with this pricing, like, it's kind of scary. But I think it really. When I was getting to the point about telling somebody how you feel, it could even be anyone. It could be your family members, or it just understand that, like, a lot of the things we think, or like, I don't want to get too deep and philosophical. We just how many minutes in, but a lot of stuff that we think for real are not really true, or like a lot of the fears that we have, or a lot of things that are stopping us from doing the things that we want to do. Like, people want to start a YouTube channel, for example. We think about YouTube. We started YouTube in 2017. July, I think it was 26. We opened up our channel. That's going on 7 years. Started it off. It was Nana's idea. Didn't know anything about YouTube. Just I've been watching it. I used it to watch music videos like in college. I didn't really understand the power and like the breadth of YouTube. She showed off her new camera, y'all. I didn't understand the power of YouTube. We weren't really taking it serious. A video every 3-4 months randomly. And then 2020 really started taking it seriously. And our video that got us monetized, RIP Kevin Samuels, was why our modern women mad at Kevin Samuels. We were on YouTube for 3 years before we even monetized, but we don't really count it as 3 years. No, it wasn't 3 years. It was 4 years. Because that was June of 2021 when we got monetized. So we're on YouTube 4 years, we got monetized. That's a very long time, but we don't count like half of it even because we weren't being serious. Right. So for people that are watching who are even still thinking about YouTube, it's not too late. You just have to have more strategy, of course. Now you have to know more about SEO. I feel like people, the OGs that started back in the day, they got away with a lot because, you know, there wasn't a lot of people on the platform, and, you know, things weren't as, I guess, competitive. But at the same time, more people are using YouTube now than they did 5, 10 years ago. So there is more content, but there's also more users. So there's still room for.
But all these algorithms everywhere are messing up. That's the problem.
Right. Everyone's complaining about these algorithms. Even people with the bigger followings, people that have so many followers, they still complain. I'm just like, wow, we hit 4,000 subscribers. What was it you say yesterday? Or, you know, so, you know, we try not to get caught up in all those numbers and all those, because if you do all that stuff, you get caught up in numbers. It could be really discouraging, especially when you're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, you're putting in the work, and you feel like you're not seeing the growth. But what's always reassuring, like I don't, you know, I don't want to sound too much, but what's always reassuring, and I tell myself and I try and tell people, is to always try and make sure that no matter where you go, you're adding value. Because even sometimes you feel as if, you know, that you like, okay, I'm doing this, I don't have that big of a following. I talk about my personal experience being in Houston, how many people have come up to me, how many people have reached out to me, how many friends I've made through YouTube. You still low-key don't realize how many people you're impacting and the reach you're having, even though it may be on a smaller scale, yes. There's still a reach, and there's still impact, and there's still value. So you don't want to lose track of that, because I think that when we get discouraged as smaller creators, it's very easy to, you know, forget that. But yeah, it's thanks, Evie. Yeah, like it's been
real quick, because, you know, guys are getting philosophical. So real quick, this is just random. We're gonna talk about I guess we're gonna call this. I don't know. We're gonna catch a cruise. I don't know what we're gonna do with this live, but I don't know if you guys are familiar on Instagram today, right? And
very briefly.
So called one of our cousins sent this clip about the worst places for Black women to date in America, and guess where top 3? So obvious.
I haven't seen it. Okay, so let me guess. LA.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
New York.
No. The top 3, I don't know the order, but I think number 1 was Atlanta, and then Houston was part of the 5, and LA was part of the 5. Atlanta, Houston.
Are you talking about the one, the content creator, the funny girl?
No, it's this guy.
Oh, no,
the same one that made that Nigerian video that you had.
Oh, okay. I thought I said that to you.
The Anwar guy.
Okay, let me even speak to that, because let me tell you a quick recap. Last week was OTC in Houston, Offshore Technology Conference. I rise every year in Houston at NRG Park. And I think it's been going on for like almost 4 years now. When I first moved, I didn't know about it. And last year I found out about it. I'm like, this year I'm going to go. So I'm happy I was able to step in there real quick. And it was just a very different type of week. I had people visiting from, you know, out of town. So last week I was outside. Like, y'all, I was outside. And it made me kind of think at how Nnena make the point about, like, people talk about places like maybe Texas, like Houston, like there's so many guys, there's so many people, but a lot of people there are still single. And I think that I can have some type of, because you're bringing in this whole statistics, right? Mm-hmm. I think I have some type of hypothesis that I'm going to share with you guys right now on this live. We talk about numbers not being important. We talk about coming from New Jersey. The issue is that said Nigerians are tricky today, and I'm being very diplomatic. I'm going to start.
I was crying.
He's right. I think I need to watch that. Yeah, I think I can see that. So I think the issue when it comes to a place like Houston is that it's so big, there's so many people, but I really think the lifestyle can be very distracting, because you could, when I say lifestyle, I mean, it goes with both genders. It's not just males. I know a lot of times we're so quick to kind of like put the blame on men, like men are the problem. The women are so perfect, just sitting around doing nothing. And no, it goes both ways. I'm bringing this up because last week was my first time going like to certain places like camp and some of these really popular places that are really like big in Houston. And especially when summertime comes around, like, you know, now it's like, today's like 95 degrees, right? It was in my car said 95, maybe it was like 92, 91. It's already getting hot. So summer is basically starting in May in Houston. And when summer starts, people want to be outside and people want to be mingling and people want to be out. But it kind of makes me think, like, when I do go out, because I go out, so I'm not trying to judge people who do go out. When I go out to these places, if I'm thinking about someone I wanted to be serious with, would I want these type of people that are at these places who are always outside? Let me even tell you how someone tried to call me out. So I was with my friend, we could leave it. And I told this one person I always see, I made a smart comment. They're trying to make us come somewhere like some app. I'm like, no, I'm not going to that. he made some smart comment, come like you could just come meet us here. And I was like to him, like, you're always outside. Like, why are you always out? And he was like, what is his response? Like, it's only someone who's out that will know that I'm out. And I'm like, oh, junk, like he got that. So, but this is where I feel like there's a caveat. Caveat is the word of the day today, Merriam-Webster Dictionary. This is the caveat. I still feel as if, I don't know how to say this without sounding biased. I still feel like you could be a really good woman and still be like on the scene, but it's harder to find a man who's a really good, serious man who's always on the scene.
Really?
That's my take. Anyone could bring. Where's Mia? Where's Mia? People respond. Where's Gino? Gino, get in this live because we're gonna need you to back us up. Where is
Ernest? So you're saying that there's a lot of responsible women who still go out a lot versus responsible men that go out a lot.
Yes, and let me tell you, because a lot of the content, you watch a lot of these videos. Even I was watching a live yesterday, it was really interesting. Harlan initiated their live yesterday. I found it was really good. So a lot of people say, oh, when you hear a common theme when women call in, this is always their theme, Nana.
I don't go out.
Let me get to that. Actually, what you do?
I know they're gonna say, I find it hard time meeting people, but I don't
meet people. Oh, this and that. Then ask them what you do on a day to day. What's your weekend look like? They don't go out. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the big factor. I'm not saying that men don't have that issue.
But they're going to be overrated because, like you said,
no, listen, we're gonna get to that. I do think men have that issue, but I also think naturally men are just more social creatures. So I feel as if you compare it to like the average man, a man who is probably like doing well, like, you know, decent looking, like I feel like it's harder for them to be as in body as women can be. Not to say there aren't men who don't go out like that. There are a lot of men who are, you know, they're just not out there. They're more like introverted. They're very calm. But even I meet introverted guys and they still can go somewhere like the club by themselves. It's just the way that men navigate and the way that they socialize is a bit different. But I feel like for women, it could be more of a challenge. A lot of women are not comfortable going out by themselves. They don't want to go to certain places by themselves and come out and look a certain type of way. Let's be real. I feel like the average guy can go to the club by himself. I'm just using the club as an example versus the average woman. She may not feel comfortable doing that. And I totally understand why, because there is a certain perception that can be, you know, that could be come to. So why I'm saying all this is that you talk about the emphasis. People say, go outside. You got to be out. You got to be out. You're in the house too much. You got to go out. But then it's not about just going out. It's also where you're going out and the type of people you're meeting, because it's like, I go to certain places and I'm like, I would not want to meet, like, and like I said, I'm calling myself out there because I'm there. So I'm not saying that these are necessarily bad places, but just as you go on, and you feel like these type of people that I'm always seeing when I go out, are these even the type of people that I would take seriously? Are these even type of people that I would even date? Are these type of people that I would even give a chance? So is more than just going out. It's more than just saying go out. And like I said, at this point in my life, you going out to have fun and for yourself, right? That should be your priority. I understand you're going out. Yeah, like I feel like that's back in the early 20s. You're going out thinking, oh, if I didn't get a number, it's a waste, but nah. I can speak for myself. I'm not going out thinking about that. It's a nice bonus if it happens, but you should be going to things you truly care about and really going out truly just to have a good time with your friends or by yourself, right? But it made me think of this Houston thing, because I do think that I didn't watch this clip yet and I'm going to watch it, but I can see why someone would still put Houston on that list. I talk about even the video I made, 5 best cities for single Black women. It was like early 2021. That video, I even had to block some people. That video got too much traction, even on TikTok. We were more active back then. And everyone was like, Houston, no. Texas, no. Oh my God, no. And I moved here and I started to understand a little why, but I think it kind of goes back. I feel like those lists sometimes could be a bit unfair because they basically put every major city for the most part. And even when you talk to people who are not in those cities, the issues are pretty much similar. I think that this is where I think the issue comes, is that because these places are bigger, there's more to do. People come in with the expectation, thinking that they're going to have like a better dating life or that they're going to have better outcomes. And when excuse me. And when they don't have them, then they're very disappointed. Versus if you move to like Portland, Oregon, or you move to like freaking like Orlando, you move to certain places, you're not really going there thinking that way. That's what I think. I think the issues a lot of people think because these places are fun and there's a lot to do, that also equals like this crazy, amazing dating life. And that's not always the case. It usually isn't the case, to be honest, because people have more to do and they're more distracted.
All right. Anyone in here planning on moving to Houston this year in 2024 or Charlotte 2024? Anyone in the chat?
All the posts that I see about Houston, people always commenting, "It's full. Don't move here. It's full." It's so funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Just Houston. I know I'm gonna sound like a hater. Houston just never appealed to me. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just a stereotype I have in my mind. But I get why people would choose Houston because there's a lot to do. It's very diverse. A lot of culture. It's very the weather. No taxes, but. I don't know. Toby, hey Toby. Charlotte's on my potential list for the future. Toby, where are you now? Party cities are hard for people to date in. It seems like that fast life. You know what I mean? Like honestly, Charlotte's kind of boring. That it should be perfect for like settling down. But I think
women. Let's see, what's the issue with Charlotte then? With all the women, so did you say they posted that only women in Charlotte?
On Twitter, what's it called? My cousin's friend visited this weekend. She's from Jersey, and she said she saw on Twitter that Charlotte has a large percentage of women compared to men. And I just busted out laughing because I was like, "Oh my god, this is what me and Ngozi talk about all the time in our lives." And we thought we were just in our head, like it's like our inside joke. Like Charlotte,
I've been to Charlotte 9 times. I'm telling you, every time we go out, I just see women, irrespective, maybe of like one place, everywhere. I'm just like, I personally have noticed it. Like everywhere we go, like irrespective of race or anything, just a lot of women compared to men.
So it's good for men, Toby. It's good. Charlotte's good for men. I'm in Cincinnati now. Okay, that's different. Wazy. I want to move to Houston or Dallas from Toronto, but it's hard.
Why is it hard? And what are you looking for? Let me help you make your decision. Why two of those, and what exactly are you looking for in a place that you're moving to? But I could also speak because talking about my experience last week and going out a lot, I just feel as if what I say I always appreciate about Houston is that there's a space for everyone. So it really comes when people talk about, I think this is a very popular thing. A lot of Black people, especially Nigerian people, make a comment when you bring up Houston. Oh, there's too many Nigerians. That's like some people have like the mindset that is like too many, like they don't want to be in that type of space. And I get it. But I always say, like, it depends on what you choose to go to. Like I mentioned, there's a popular spot I just went to for the first time last week. And I've been here over 2 years because I chose not to go there. So I think what I really like about Houston is that there's a scene for everyone, every culture, every music, every ethnicity, every interest, whatever you like, you will find it here. And every city can't brag of that.
I think a lot of major cities can, though. Maybe not every city, but a lot of major cities can. Dating is hard everywhere. You just got to pick somewhere you enjoy and put yourself out there.
I agree, Toby, but I do think that certain environments can make it a little harder depending on what you're looking for, right? Because even I was watching the live yesterday, people were talking about it's crazy how somewhere like Atlanta probably has to be the worst in terms of the way people complain. I think it's higher than Houston, maybe Atlanta and LA. People complain like the most about, especially particularly Black women. But somewhere like Atlanta is like the Black Mecca. Like it has so many Black people doing well. So it's like, if we were looking at that, numbers or things to do, why would Atlanta people be struggling? So I do understand, I do believe what you're saying to an extent that it can be a challenge everywhere. That's why I go also back to my point. I will say it again, I'll say it till I'm red in the face. I don't believe in people relocating with the idea that this location is going to be like that being their sole purpose, relocating, thinking that if I move here, I'm going to find a husband. If I move here, I'm going to find a wife. I'm not with that mindset. You're going to be highly disappointed because like Toby said, it can be challenging everywhere. It's nowhere is perfect. And you go somewhere and you don't have the outcomes you want, you're going to be like, damn. So you should move just to be somewhere new and just to have a new experience, maybe for a job, just so you get tired of where you are. But I'm not with the mindset of moving, thinking that like this place is so much better dating wise. I don't agree.
All right. Well, hello everyone. Haven was commenting recently. She said she was going to be on the live tonight. I know she moved to Atlanta, so I was just.
Haven, how long were you even in Charlotte? Was she there for up to a year? No. Haven's comment. I'm a Tavon home. let me tell you this. We're going, we doing free today, so I'm gonna give my response to this. Dating is a numbers game, but at the same time, it's also quality over quantity. And that's also why me personally, I'm not into the whole online stuff. I know people do it. I know it works for them. I get it. I know people met their husbands. I get it. I understand. But I think that is probably one of the reasons why, because this whole numbers game thing makes people feel like people are too disposable. It's like you just feel as if like let me go and get 30 numbers, or let me go and get 30 swap on 30 profiles and see where I get from there. And yes, to an extent, like I get that logic, but when it comes to matters of the heart, I feel like it could be a bit misleading in the sense that people.
And like, who just wants to keep talking to a bunch of people? Like, I feel like I don't know, maybe men find it more exciting, but to me, I just feel like it's sort of a waste of time.
Their
And
time,
I
right?
understand, like, obviously, like, it makes sense the whole numbers game thing, but then to me, I just feel like it gets at least me personally, it gets exhausting. I don't know and I don't feel like I'm taking it so serious, but I feel like it just gets exhausting, like finding time to talk to other people, to going out with them, sifting them
I even made up
out.
my point. Where's me at telling guys to talk about how many hours you got to talk on the phone before you go in? I made that point because even when it comes to the point, you meet people online, 1, 2, 3, you're meeting up with them. It's like, let's even make sure there's something there before we even waste each other's time. Like, I feel like it's almost like it's like a, what's that thing? Like a hamster wheel. Like you're just going through, like seeing like how quick, how many people, like a run in the mill almost. I don't like it. But I get the mindset that sometimes you feel it. Some people you do have to you have to have a certain level of numbers, right? You have to have a certain number of numbers. It is like a trial and error. But I feel like in this day and age, we're making it too much of a trial and error. Like we want to try 100 people before we can no. Like it don't got to be that much of a numbers game. But I do understand your point that to an extent, like you can't meet two people and think, oh, one person may be it. It is a more of like the more numbers you have, the more people, the more probability. But it just can't be too many numbers. That's the problem. Toby's agreeing with me. I agree because I hate online. It's not organic enough for me to force. You
I
make
mean,
a profile.
it
It
works for people.
works.
You go out, and even when you go out, sometimes some people still say that they're not meeting people. So, I mean, what you got people doing what they got to do. Tavon said, for men, we have to talk to more women to get women. That makes sense. But yeah, the children of God will survive. But anything else? Anything new, Gussie, besides your OTC week in Houston?
Uh, no, I'm here. No, I can't. I really can't believe next weekend's Memorial Day weekend. Next weekend's Memorial Day weekend. How? Oh,
Really?
oh
It's
yes.
going by way too fast.
Oh
Way,
my
way
god.
too fast. Okay, y'all. So what do y'all think is like okay, let's say we want to pivot, right, to like a different topic on YouTube. So we're done with dating for now. And it's not gonna be dating. We're not talking about dating. We're not gonna be dating coaches. It's not possible, we're not married. But if we pivot to another topic, like what are y'all really interested in that's kind of still related to like moving or just I don't like what is something that you find yourself going on YouTube a lot for? Or what is something how did you find our channel? No, no, no.
Right.
Like,
That's
because
a better question. How did you find our channel?
how did
What
you
were you
find
looking for?
were you like looking up I'm moving to Charlotte or I'm moving to Houston? Were you thinking of just like did you type in best places for young people to go? Like how did you were you looking into apartments? Like how did you find our channel? I think that's what's been kind of challenging because if you'll notice you'll see some other channels on YouTube too, and they try to focus like on cities, and it's hard. You can't really do that. It's not. It's too niche. It's way too niche to have a channel just talking about a city. It's not gonna work. It's not like it's not possible. It's way too niche. Your content is gonna become so redundant. It's gonna become so even I see real estate agents trying to do it and they're still not getting traction. They're still not
Right.
subscribers, they're still not getting views. Right. So at this point I'm just thinking like what else would be able to do? Like because if we vlog, I feel like yeah, that would be fun because we're showing the cities,
Well,
but
we vlog and y'all don't watch it.
But are people really going to care for vlogs? I feel like vlogging is kind of, in my opinion, because I used to watch vlogs back in the day, but now I really don't. To be honest, they're too long. So, like, is vlogging kind of phasing out? Do people just watch their favorite people who vlog? Or, like, if you're really trying to move to a city, would you be more interested in vlogging because you actually want to see what the people in that city are doing? But yeah, that's just what I've been just kind of in this space, because we want quality, not just quantity. Um, Ways TV said, I found you on YouTube looking for Houston information. Nice. Haven said, agree, it's too niche. I don't have the direction to throw out just yet, but I've built a few successful content streams, so I'll think on it. Okay, thank you, Haven. I really
Hi, Haven. How is Atlanta treating you? We were just talking about you. We were waiting for, but like, where's Haven? Then I say you commented saying you're gonna join tonight. Let us know how Atlanta is doing.
And were you in Charlotte for up to a year? I guess he wants to know. I think you were. I think you mentioned you were, but I'm not sure. I was looking to move to Charlotte and Houston. You two popped up arguing against each other.
So funny.
I think that's just it. It's just too niche. And I see so many channels because obviously things pop up like Charlotte people, I see Houston people. They have like one viral video and that's it. You know what I mean? After that, it's like, but how much content are you gonna make talking about Charlotte? How much content are you gonna make?
I think I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't agree because niche in the sense of maybe just sitting down making talking head videos, but there's how many apartments in the city? There's how many houses that in the city? There's so many restaurants. There's so many. Like it doesn't have to be just talking about your opinions or what you like or don't like. It can be physically getting into the field, and I think that could be more like it could be harder to develop that type of content as a creator. There's more editing, it's more scheduling, it's more work, right? But I feel as if it's niche, yes, but there's also a beauty to niches, right? Being specific, and the algorithm usually favors that. But I think it's more than just having sit down videos or talking about Houston and Charlotte on these lives is going to get redundant. It's going to get more. It's going to get tired. There's only but so much you can say. But I feel as if we're leaning more towards, because that's honestly how a lot of people found us, is whether it's Charlotte or Houston content. If we're leaning towards being more like city focus, it's just about the way I think is the way we go about doing it, like making it more interactive, showing it, right? Walking tours, come to a museum with me today.
I'm not gonna lie. My life can be boring, but then also I feel like sometimes I do
a
lot of
vlog last week and I forgot. Like that would have been a lit vlog. Like I feel like everyone, because I watch people and I know you don't watch vlogs. I have my few people I watch and I feel like they're not doing anything crazy, but I enjoy it. And I feel like when it comes to vlogging, it's about the people. It's about you having a connection with that person and just liking them. And anything they do for the most part is going to be somewhat interesting.
Okay. Hey, I'm loving Atlanta so far. I have a bet going with a friend and then is going to leave Charlotte. LOL. Who knows? Can't make any promises.
But I've been praying on the mountain.
I don't know if I'm necessarily I feel like honestly, if I leave Charlotte, I'll probably go back to New Jersey.
Yeah. So
money I'm not gonna lie, like to make up for all these months of all these years of paying rent and this expensive.
You're saying that you're not about to go back home and live with your mom. You're saying that.
I know, so I feel like that's why I'll probably just stay where I am. Because even if I move to Houston, I'm not gonna save money moving to Houston. I'm not. Houston is even more expensive than Charlotte.
And Houston is not more expensive than Charlotte. Houston, you're not going to pay in state. You already just off everything, all things being equal, you're going to get paid more because you're not paying state income taxes. All things being equal, you get a pay raise. So in Houston, it's not more expensive than Charlotte. There's a potential to room. I know we haven't lived together in a long time, but there's a potential to
kind of live in luxury that's going to cost basically the same as I'm paying right now.
It's not going to cost what you're paying. It's not going to cost what you're paying now. Even if it's $300-$400 on top of, even if it's $400 or $500 cheaper on top of your pay bump, you could be saving $1,000 a month. I'm not saying it's the most money in the world, but it's something. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's crazy. I'm not saying that it's, oh my gosh, like you're going to be a millionaire because of it, but it's a difference. So trust me, you're not going to pay tax on your car. All these other fees that you drive that car straight to Houston. All these things. Charlotte, y'all saw Mia had to talk about on the live. Charlotte is expensive for the salaries that they're trying to pay people. So yeah, but yeah, I don't speak about it. I'm just letting God I'm just letting God work in it. I just give sometimes in life, people don't like to be nag. Sometimes you have to let people come to the decision with just, just come to it naturally, not because like you're enforcing or begging them. So we'll leave that.
Yeah,
The way
I think a bit of ego is involved too.
of course, there's ego. You don't want to show that Charlotte, you built your community. You going on 4 years now. You were you were a trailblazer in your own right. And that's I also kind of make the point when some people look at Houston like, oh, like everyone's going there. Like some people want to be different, but I always say it's like when people talk about nursing, everybody's doing nursing. Everybody is doing something. You may want to be unique, but at the same time, everybody's doing something for a reason. So you can go, okay, everyone is doing nursing. I want to be unique. Go do basket weaving and then start crying about you can't find a job for 5 years and then end up still doing the nursing. There's a reason why a lot of people are doing something. It may sound like hype. Some people just want to be unique. I get it. They want to be different. They don't want to be like they're jumping on a bandwagon. But sometimes it's not just hype. There's a reason why people are doing something. They see something in it. They see something there.
Have you said I can see y'all pivoting into travel content? I don't know.
Honestly, we stopped traveling. That's the thing. We used to try and make we went to Ghana. You had a return. We had like a video, one of our like first kind of viral videos. We've gone but I feel like the issue with YouTube is like your hand can't be everywhere. Yeah, but I do, and travel content it's difficult to create. Quality has to be is usually a thing, right? You have to have like more higher quality footage. But I wouldn't mind like maybe just doing like one-offs. Like I go here, I'm like, come to me, solo trip to Cabo, and just follow me around. Issues that y'all gonna watch it because after all that editing and that stress, and then you put it up and you get like no views, it's like. But I think you're right. People really just like travel in general. Like I know travel content just does really well. That's a really great niche for like YouTube.
I don't even like traveling, so it wouldn't.
There's a lot of crime in Houston. Honestly, I just started watching the news after one of my shows in the morning, just so I can know what's going on. And I don't really watch news. So once I started watching news, I'm like, wow, things be happening here because. The news, that cycle, that's what they thrive off of, pushing out that stuff. But it's like, I wasn't really aware of all these things. And I know that sometimes I see that, like, that's kind of like a theme in Houston. There's a lot of crime, but it's really certain areas. And honestly, like, even when I think about the news and the areas that these things, they're usually happening around the same neighborhoods.
Isn't that everywhere?
Right. But it's still within Houston. So if someone sees it, they think, oh, Houston is not safe, but it's particular areas, particular neighborhoods and communities within Houston. So that's why I always say when you're moving somewhere, do your research. Don't just look at price. Price is important. I get it. We all, trying to save money, but also look at like safety and all those things.
Tavon said, I'm Team Charlotte. Party life gets old living in Houston. Where do you live, Tavon? Are you in Charlotte?
But you don't have to only party.
Figuring out how to add engagement would help. Are there creators you can collab with in your cities? What about maybe reviewing local food? People love watching people eat. That's a good one.
We did restaurant reviews earlier. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting back into that. Like, I feel like it would be probably more short form content applicable now.
But we try
to make shorts. Yeah, that's a good idea, Haven. But yeah, Tavon, partying. But that's the thing. When people think Houston, they just think partying, and that's not all. I get it. That's what people know.
That's what people do in Houston.
But that's any major city. It's not just Houston.
No, that's any. Stay home. There's nothing to do. But Houston people like legit, like Houston, Atlanta. Those are known as party cities. Like most people are into night. Like not most people. Like there's a lot of nightlife. There's a lot of staying out late. There's a lot of parties. A lot of events. I don't think anyone moves to Charlotte thinking about partying. I'm not saying maybe compared to where they're coming from, it might have more to offer. It is very possible, but Charlotte's not a party city. It's not a party city. Tavon said I live in Baltimore. Okay, cool. So you think about moving. You guys are doing well. I just think about videos that prompt discussion or opinions. Those tend to do well. Thank you, Toby. The prompt discussion or opinions, those tend to do. That's true. Prompt discussion, like the lives are good for discussion. Mukbangs get high engagement. Oh, I always thought those were so weird. People watch me.
One fake one we made like years ago in New Jersey.
Sound when people put like when it's is that what they call it? ASMR, like when you can hear them like chewing and like breaking the bone. Oh yeah, people do like that. That's interesting. But yeah. What did I do last week? Okay, last week it wasn't OTC week, but I tried to get out more than usual. Tuesday, I went to Mad Mouse for the first time in so long, since like last year. It was like the anniversary week. I was there with my cousin, like we were there for 3, 4 hours. It was a lot of fun. I'm happy. I'm really, really happy I went. It was really cool. I was gonna try and go to a bunch of the other events, but I didn't make any of them. I'm just terrible these days. But that was fun. Went out Saturday, brunch Sunday. Friday I went to get so I was like, yeah, I'm slowly but surely, coming back out and the weather's getting good. So I really, really can't complain. But I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't only blame Charlotte. I always tell y'all, like, I'm huge on accountability in every aspect of my life. I'm not one of those girls that like, oh, it didn't work out. He not serious. These men don't know what they want. A lot of times, yes, they don't be serious, but also, why am I going for the ones that are not serious? Most guys that are not serious, you'll know that from the beginning. Why are you entertaining that and then later on cursing them out? Right? Like I feel I'm really big on accountability. So I'm just paralleling that to like just living in Charlotte. Like, yeah, I do feel like it's gotten a little boring. And I do feel like it's a bit dry, but also
to that. I was gonna speak, but continue.
I haven't done the best job myself. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm very like yesterday night when I went to Infuse on Monday, I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever been out on Monday. So Charlotte people be outside. A lot of places open to like 2 a.m. It's just, I think the issue, if I want to be honest with Charlotte, is that there's only limited places I can hear the music I really like Afrobeats, right? There's very places, and a lot of the places, I don't know how I'm going to say this. I don't want to offend anyone. A lot of the places in Charlotte, even I noticed, and my cousin even mentioned yesterday, she was like, I feel like when we go out, everyone is so much older. Like, in my wearing like
40s and up club.
And I think it's something particular about going to Black-owned establishments that like older people just come out, and it's not bad. I'm just saying that the way I was raised, I never saw that age group growing up. You get what I'm saying? Like my mom's friends are not like in their 40s going to clubs or going to bars or like going to dinner. You get what I'm saying? So like it's still kind of shocking to me, like when I see women who are like grown and they be outside and they're outside.
They're outside more than you.
More than me, they are outside.
But later they're gonna take your man from you. They're gonna say that's all they see.
Because I do go to a lot of Black-owned establishments. I go everywhere, but I do go to a lot of Black-owned establishments. I noticed specifically in the Black-owned establishments that a lot of the people, I always say this on this channel, a lot of people are older. I'm just like, so where do the young people go? And yesterday my cousin was like, I think they'll probably be like in South End, like the mixed crowds. That's where probably like the young people go.
Isn't that the college students? Isn't
that they seem kind of, I was like, I don't know. I'm just confused, but I guess I have to go and see with my own 4 eyes, see where the young people go. Because I'm just like, why am I feeling so young in some of these places? And I'm not young. I'm not old, but I'm not like 23, 24. I feel like the people around me are significantly older. So that's something interesting about Charlotte. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say that because I was even thinking about me being in Houston now 2+ years, and like there's so many things I'm just experiencing for the first time. And I was just thinking about overall, like maybe let's say it's 5 years if I'm still here, 10 years. How do you make somewhere still feel new? Because like I feel like now I'm kind of like that new feeling is about to like kind of fade off. Like because I still
that's what happened to me after 2022.
Like 2 years. I feel like now that I'm hitting 2 years, like this is about to be like my third summer here. It's like last year was like my second, but like my first summer, if you know, you know. So it's like now I'm feeling like, okay, like what am I going to do that makes it feel different? I'm also going to bring this back to the point is that when I meet a lot of people who live in Houston, but they just live here like on paper. Like maybe all the time they're traveling or they move around for work. And I noticed that's more and more people who have lived somewhere for a longer time. I feel as if like I could see it because I could understand it more now. They kind of get tired of like where they are. It's not really new anymore. It's not really exciting. It doesn't really move there. Right. So like those people, every month they travel every few months. They somewhere here. They're in a new city. It's like they live here, but they don't really live here. Like they're not really integrated. They don't really have like a social life. They don't really like go out on a weekly basis here. So that's my thing is like I still want to go out, but I still want to have that new feeling. Like I still want to have like that, like even certain spots I'm like, okay, I've been going to too often. Like I'm not gonna go to I wrote to like one spot I'm not going this month because I feel like I've been going too frequent. Like I don't want to play anything out. I think that's the point I'm trying to make.
Like
Like,
trying new things. That's
no, for sure. Even like workout classes, just going to different neighborhoods.
Yeah, I'm
Like
tomorrow.
like, because I don't want to ever feel like, oh, I've done everything. I'm not interested. I don't want to go there. I'm bored. Like I don't want that feeling.
Yeah, true. Toby, you guys a good point. Me and you guys have talked about this. He said maybe just decrease the amount you guys do lives every other week / once a month, or when there's a major topic to discuss. Yeah, I really like the every other week.
I told them because a weekly I get it, it's just to do it, but it's like we're not a news channel, we're not doing trending topics, we're not a gossip channel. So like even unless you're really talking about like things that are happening, current events, the whole live thing could become redundant, and then it's like lives. Also, people that are not familiar with YouTube, the RPM and all that, the amount you get paid off lives is almost minimal. So that's why when you see people on live telling you like the video, y'all make sure y'all like it. You could send a super chat. You could there's a reason why people push that, and they're not pushing that on their normal videos. Like, oh, super chat me in a regular. I've never seen somebody say send me a super chat in a regular.
The advantage of live is that it's less work in a way because you don't have to edit, you don't have to sit down and film. You just set it up and that's it. It's the video. Right, but they don't tend to get as much views.
You don't get paid off of it as much, like that compared to a sit-down video. So this. I agree. Like I feel like lives for us maybe like bi-weekly, or if we have something really important to talk about, something that's timely, something that we feel like our audience. Could you also think about our audience for people that just join in? Please like the video. We just hit 4K. It's not that much, but we're grateful for all of y'all. So a lot of y'all watch and are subscribed. So make sure you subscribe if you watch it. It's free. But you have to also think about what our audience should be interested in, right? Like we're not going to sit here and start talking about something happening in Australia. Like we don't make that type of content. You know what I mean? That's not relevant to our audience, the type of content we make. So that's also something we have to keep in mind, right? Like, so I agree with that, Toby.
Hey, listen, Nnena, have you been to Noda 101 yet? I drove by it, but I haven't been.
Nnena, still? What's your problem? What's your issue?
But actually, it looked like
a restaurant. What is Noda 101?
Hole in the wall. It's like I guess a karaoke bar. It's like a small little hole in the wall. I'll get there eventually. But I don't go to Noda period, so that's kind of why I don't go to Noda period like that. I found Charlotte guys to be so marriage oriented. It was one good thing about being there. That's interesting. In order to move to USA from Toronto, I have to find a job that will hire me first and marry someone that's from there. That's the requirement. Yeah, I think the job sounds like the easier route.
Yeah, we'll pray for you.
Wow. Miss Towns, I love the lives, but do what is best. Oh, thank you. What are you saying, cousin?
It has been a while, Miss Towns. Where you been? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining. Make sure you all like this live. We'll be rounding up soon. We just wanted to, have more of an open forum, let you all know we're good. It's been 3 weeks. I thought it was 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since we went live. Ooh, that's a long time. So let you all know, like what, we've been considering, direction of our channel, type of content we're going to be putting out. I have some videos coming up that I think y'all will enjoy, but I do think we want to start doing more, because I think that's when we started doing the Charlotte content. We had like driving through the neighborhoods, even though people got offended. First neighborhood, we are walking a lot of we need to get out there more, and it also helps you learn your city more too. Because the more you do, the more you go out, the more you explore, you learn. Because sometimes you just need that reason. It's not to say we could always say, oh, it's always there. You can always go, but sometimes you just need that real reason to do these things. It may sound like an excuse, but it's not. If you don't really have that actual reason, you're gonna just push it off. I'll do it later. I'll get to it, and then years come by, pass, and you never get to it. So
this is not. And the thing about being a creator, sometimes you have so much content, but it's not just getting the content; it's putting it together. So I literally have enough clips to do because I want to do another week in Black-owned Charlotte. I want to do another one of those, and I had the stuff, but I always feel oh, is this enough? Is it enough big stuff? Oh, I need to add more. I want to go to more spots. I want to go to more places. I'm just just do what you have. Just go with what you have. Even 9 minutes, 10 minutes, because I have so many black owned places I've go to that I'm like, I wanna it's almost like I want a video to show like all the black owned places in Charlotte in one video, and that's just not it's not realistic. It's just not realistic. And I have the most fun doing the lives and doing like vlogging. Even though vlogging, I don't really like doing the sit down videos, but those could be cool too if you have like a good topic, that you have something tangible to talk about. But I actually like the black owned Charlotte, like the vlogging, putting stuff together, but then you do all of that and it's like when you don't get views, it's like, oh my gosh, that was so much work.
People really want to see that. You don't want to keep making content that people are not engaging with. As a creator, I think that could be a challenge. Thank you, girl. Talk about the one. Yeah, I think I did one in October. Nnena was here. Yeah, it was really short too. It wasn't long.
Oh, thank you. Black on Charlotte video was excellent as well. Yeah, I'm due for another one because I've been discovering a lot of
That's what we
places.
come on February, right?
Yes, they just talking on our lives. Hi, Mia.
Yeah, we were asking for you. We talked about dating earlier, and I know you would have jumped in with your questions, talking about the worst cities. And what you said it was a list of 3 or a list of 5?
5, but I remember Atlanta, Houston, and LA were part of them. Where else did he put in the 5? I think he put Miami and somewhere else, but that was interesting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to get more into shorts. We be playing with shorts because that's the easiest. You just a little clip on your phone and just. But some people say shorts mess up your channel. They mess up.
It brings people to your channel, but is it people that really are going to engage with their content? Everything is a risk. I could say me personally, I don't watch shorts. I don't go on YouTube watching short form content. It's rare. Like it's not, but it doesn't mean that people do scroll through because it's kind of they're trying to make it more like Instagram, TikTok, that engagement, that short form content. But yeah.
Toby said vlogs are hard for a lot of people to engage with. Yeah, for me personally, I find a lot of them to be long, and I feel like a lot of people are doing stuff like I don't care that they're doing. So it's like, like they just make them so long. Like if I do a vlog, I will promise you, I'm gonna do like a week in my boring life in Charlotte. They're gonna be like 10 minutes each, 15 minutes each, just like basic. My life is not that superb, but I get it. I get it. Best neighborhoods, apartment tours, unique things to do specific to the city, restaurants, museum, parks, etc. Okay, best neighborhoods, apartment tours. Will you all recommend Dallas a city to move to? Are there more black people there too, like Houston? I don't know much about Dallas, and Guzzy's gonna hate on Dallas. She's gonna tell you to go to Houston.
Because that depends on what you're looking for. Dallas is a cute little city, but I prefer Houston, of course. I think there's more to do. It's more, I think it's black friendlier. I think that it's cheaper. It's hotter, but it just depends on what you're. I don't think you would go bad. I don't think you'll be miserable in Dallas. No, like I still like it's still better than a lot of places in America, but I prefer Houston.
Videos that prompt discussion and hot takes, polarizing opinions for people to engage with. That is a key, polarizing, right? But Toby, the only issue I have with polarizing, I feel like it tends to always happen to be like dating topics. Because like what polarizing topic am I going to talk about when we talk about Charlotte, Houston? Oh, someone says Charlotte's like an Airbnb. Or someone says Charlotte has too many women. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to really get polarizing. It's going to be like with Charlotte and Houston content, it's going to be more informative. And for the people who are really serious about that, really trying to move and they want information, that's what you're going to get. But it can't really be polarizing. When it comes to polarizing, it comes with like dating. Then you have all the manosphere people, the way they'll
find your content, the way people, hey, this content. I don't know whether women are just vicious to men creators. I don't know. I would like to speak to a few male like relationship creators, and no, they still do be, but I feel like the men are worse. The way men will come and start trolling you when you're saying things they don't agree with, or they feel as if you're like you have some agenda or something. I'd be like,
It's so nasty to me to relate. Like I really respect people in the relationship space. Like I respect
people are so jaded. People are too bitter.
that space because people are so angry, combative, bitter. It's just anything you say, whether it's the men. I find it more to be the men that are very, very angry, but maybe because we're women and what they feel like they do
Exactly.
with women.
Because the men would say the women are really bitter and angry too, right? So I think it's just because we're women.
Mia's coming for us. I'm shocked y'all haven't found a man y'all interested in y'all cities, or at least talking to currently. Mia, who told you that?
Who told you? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The issue is not even. Let's be real. At this point in our life stage we're at, I think it's a challenge. You know, we always say we don't. We always end up getting back to the topic is that people don't want to. Both genders don't want to make a mistake. So I feel as if there's beauty to being older. You have more money, you're better in your career, you know yourself more, blah blah blah. But there's also negatives because you think too much. I meet so many all these. Oh, Mia, you saw TG videos just put up. I feel bad for men over 30 who are single. I just watched the first thing, made a second video. I was crying, and I was supposed to send it to you earlier today. I watched it today. I was crying. I feel bad for men who are over 30 and single. It's like I meet a lot of older guys. I'm not even saying specifically to me, but it's like people are they're thinking too much. They're thinking too much. They're too, how about if this happens? Oh, and I think overall women may be like that too, but I think that women, we are more risk takers. And I feel as if even despite what you go through, despite our experiences, compared to men, I feel like we will be more willing to take those risks, especially when it comes to matters of the heart.
Okay. Haven said humor is always good. That one where you said you dated a guy you couldn't even kiss still have me dying to this day. Oh, I think I know Ngozi. I think I know who you're talking to.
The one that didn't want to pay for the date. She's talking about? Oh no. That talk about Houston. Okay.
Yeah. What are you too passionate about that you're comfy sharing online? That's a good one, Evie. That's what I've been thinking. Like, God, just reveal to me like what is really my true purpose, because I feel like that's what's really I have really been battling with inside. It's just that I don't want to just keep navigating life being very robotic, go to work, finish work, go to the gym, cook rice, cook spinach, go out on the weekend, go to church, come home, take a nap, wake up, watch. Like, I was like, God, like, what am I really supposed to be doing in my life? Like, what is my purpose? What is really my purpose? Because I don't think about
that. Because I remember going to church as a 20, I was going to different church 2018, 2019. They told us to write something that we really cared about that year. And what I wrote was discovering my purpose. And it's funny because people, be like, oh, I want to get married, or I want to make more money, or I want to this and this. It was God revealed to me my purpose. And I feel like God reveals it too. You just have to be paying attention. Because there's things that people will tell you. We have a group chat where people will tell you, and you don't want to actualize on it. You don't want to move in it, whether it's fear, whether it's feeling like you're not going to do it well enough.
Fear, I think it's so funny because on Sunday the pastor talked about this too, like talking about like before he blew and became this big, that he was preaching to his dolls, like he was preaching not dolls, his toys when he was young, like he would like baptize his toys. Like he would like anyone that knows him is gonna tell you that like this is what he's been doing. Like it's not something he just started randomly doing. He said, I was moving like this when I had almost no one in this crowd to this big crowd. You get what I'm saying? Like and I just felt like almost like, oh my God, like he always knew his passion. Like I felt that. And even when he tells us stories about how he used to only make 40K at a point. He used to barely have no money. He grew up in the hood. He grew up in the mud. You know what I mean? He grew up in the projects, but like he always had that passion to talk to people, always had that passion to share the gospel. He talks about on Sunday, like him and his mom will be going out and he'll be outside of the bank asking people, do you know who Jesus is? Do you know who Jesus is as a young child? I'm just like, yo, like, what is that thing that like, what is like, I almost felt like, wow, like it was so inspiring, but I'm just like, what is that for me? What is that thing that I'm just naturally so good at? What is that thing that I'm naturally, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good talking and engaging with people, but I don't view that as specific enough. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not viewing that as specific enough. Like, oh, I just like to talk. Like, okay, talk about what?
Talk about what? But there are specific things you talk about. The things you end up talking to your concierge for 1 hour. There's specific topics. You may not want to acknowledge it, but there's certain things you end up. You're not just talking. You're talking about certain things. Hi, thank you, Petra.
The way things have been going in my life and the way things, I just been thinking like, is God trying to tell me something? Am I closing my ears? Do I need to clean out my ears? Like, is God telling me, Nana, like you are looking here, but I'm telling you to look there. Like you keep going this way, but I'm telling you to look that way. And I'm just like, I'm so confused. Like I'm so confused because I want to do this stuff now while like I have the time and like I don't have babies tugging at my waist and like while like I want to utilize this season of my life to the best ability, but if I don't know for sure what I'm supposed to be doing, how am I going to utilize it effectively? How? Haven said, who goes to you that you say regret it, even given a chance. Oh my God, he still be messaging me on WhatsApp to this day, replying, putting hearts on my pictures. Oh my God, like y'all. Oh my gosh, yeah, I've told y'all a lot. That's funny how you remember that. Oh my God, yes, online dating is so desperate. I see what TG be saying. Tavon, do you prefer Black men or African men? African men for sure, but I don't discriminate. But I prefer African. I'm just being honest. I just for real.
I prefer Jewish men. I think the question wouldn't be a preference. Is what I've dealt with is definitely African man. I don't think that because you have a history or something doesn't necessarily mean you prefer it. It's just what likes you or what you're around. Yeah. So I don't know if it's necessarily a preference or it's just like what I've experienced.
Petra said those sister locks are popular. I got the retwist today. I'm trying retwist versus interlock because the interlock for any of y'all out there, and y'all didn't warn me, interlocking is so painful. So I tried just a regular retwist today and I'm not in pain. So thank you. Mia said, have y'all thought about having a line with other YouTubers? I'm down. Actually, I'm going to reach out to her, but I was supposed to actually have like a real estate agent.
Me too. I met a realtor a couple of weeks ago. I have her card. Things reminded me. I'm going to reach out to her. I have two realtors that I want to see if they're interested just to come on and talk about like, the housing market in Houston and like, because I know despite the interest rates, people still want to buy. People are going to buy. It's that you can't time the market, they say. So yeah, I've thought about that. Me and Mark TV. Hi. Me and all my Black married friends are in Dallas. That's what I said. But Mark the Spark TV. Did y'all come to Dallas married or did y'all get married in Dallas? Those are two different. I say all the time, Dallas. When I think about Dallas, I think about families. I think about married people.
That's good. That's what you need to know. You need to go to Dallas.
But people who are already married, I don't date married men. So that's the point I'm making. I think of people who are already married. Like families, like it's more family oriented. It's not as many distractions as Houston. It's more calm. It's more, relaxed. But yeah.
Yeah, the humor. So, because if we do have a sense of humor, what can we use that for? What can we use that for? Some people be so serious, and even though I'm stressed sometimes about life, is not that serious. You gotta laugh. You gotta like literally. I laugh at myself. I think of things I've done. And I just start laughing at myself. Like that's how you have to be, or you would just be overthinking everything. But thanks for pointing that out. Every said I prefer neither. When
that's Jewish.
Let me tell you a story, right? So I shouldn't be saying this, but who cares? She'll get over it if I'm going to watch this. So someone was trying to talk to like a few weeks ago, right? This is someone like from years ago in Charlotte, right? This uncle is an uncle. Like literally, I'm just like, no, like you're too old. What am I gonna do with you? So I made up a lie. I was like, I don't talk to Nigerian men anymore. And he was like, I don't have to be Nigerian. I can bleach for you. I'll bleach. What do you want me to be? I can turn white. Sometimes you feel like life is so unfair because you'll see all this stuff on social media about, let's be real, like all this sprinkle stuff. You'll see all this content about like they're so materialistic. And then like you'll be a woman that you feel like you're really not asking for a lot, right? Like you're really not saying, oh, the guy has to spend $10,000 on me. He has to make 6 figures. He has to be a millionaire. And you still feel like, even though you're not asking for a lot, it seems like so much. I guess because they're younger guys. Marriage is so much to a lot of young guys. I'm not gonna lie, and I get it, right? But it's like it's almost these extremes, right? You meet people who are so scared, or you meet people who want a relationship in 1 week, and I'm just like, where are the people in the middle? Where is that balance in the middle? Because I feel like both extremes are bad. right? I look at someone who wants to be in a relationship in 4 days just as bad as someone who's scared of commitment. Like, I don't want any of that, right? But it's just like, why is everyone so extreme? Why does it seem like there's just these extremes? Like, where are the normal people who want to take their time, get to know someone? They're not jaded, they're not broken, they're not hurt from what happened 10 years ago and trying to put it on you. It's just, oh gosh, but yeah. Wait, so I like Black American and African girls. My only problem with Black American girls is my accent is different from them, so I feel a little shy. If you got money, they don't care. Come to
United,
they'll still talk to you. I find it harder to see African girls with Black American men. That's the one I feel like hard to really see that. Even the African girls born here, it's hard to see it. But accent, please. Some of these guys, I'd be looking at them like, wow, you're very Nigerian, and they be with girls that be like, yeah, baby.
Love no accent, too. Love no accent.
Love has no barrier. So don't be shy with your accent, especially if you're doing well and you got that accent. Trust me.
Just don't try to hide it too much, because that's when people sound the worst, when they're trying to sound natively and trying to.
He was like, yeah, so how you doing? Blah blah blah. I was like, listen. I'm Nigerian-American. Leave that accent for your American girls, okay?
Right. Like, fake accents are the worst. Make your accent show through.
As we progressed in the conversation, I noticed accent disappeared. I'm like, where'd your accent go? He just started crying. He just started laughing. I was like, oh, so your accent is gone? Don't do that. Like, it sounds awkward, and I get it.
The worst is someone trying to hide their accent. It sounds bad. Like, oh my God, it sounds terrible. Like, just nothing wrong. Just speak slow. You have an accent, speak slow and enunciate. That's it. But let your accent shine through. It's fine.
He even said, not he'll bleach for you. I was in tears. He said, oh, okay, you don't like African and Nigerian? Okay, I'll bleach. I'm not African anymore. I'm white. I'm just like, this guy is hilarious. Like, that's the type of guy that's trying to act serious. Get out my face. What is the oldest man y'all would consider dating, and what is the youngest?
I feel like you could say these things, but when time comes and the person is there, things are a bit different. I don't know if I can necessarily go younger though. I don't think I can go younger.
Really?
Maybe a year. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I can go younger.
If they're yeah, that's
but older, I would say maybe 10 years. So maybe like 41, 42, 43, maybe.
10 years is not bad, but then is he going to be like divorced?
And then it comes to thank you. Then that age, usually at that age, it comes with issues. They never been married. Why they have never been married? They usually maybe been married before. Do they have children? How old are these children now? Are the children 3 years old or they're 13 years old? Because that's the difference. Even people talk about the not wanting children. And we'll end on this, but I used to feel like, it's not really that big of a deal. But as I get older, I understand why some women are really stuck on not wanting to be with someone with kids. Because people try and simplify it, like, oh, it's not that big. We even had a conversation on this live, like, it's not that big of a deal, but just one child. But it's like the age of the child is a big factor. And why I'm saying the age of the child matters, because if the child is younger, the parents have to talk more. Like, you can't talk to I'm about to pick up, you're not going to call a 4-year-old, I'm about to come pick you up. Okay, daddy. Like, no, you have to talk to the mom. And like, you may not want that relation. Like, you don't want to stop someone from talking to the child of their parent, but it's like, it's weird. Like, the dynamics, the relationship, like, I understand why women that don't have children don't want to date men with children. And even men who don't have children, I understand why they don't want to date women with children. I don't think it's shallow. I don't think it's weird. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's very logical. I think it makes sense.
I mean, it's a preference about what works for you. Nnena, what would you do if you met a great guy who wanted to have children the next year or two? That's what I want, children the next year or two. That's not a problem. But I mean, you got to start from somewhere, right? That's the thing. You got to start from somewhere. So it's not you telling me you need a year or two to just be talking. That's what people are doing in this generation. They talking for like years before they even committed to, like, that's crazy to me. How could you be wanting to talk to someone for, what are y'all talking about as grown people for years? Like, I'm not saying it should be unique, right?
To me, it's not an issue of talking necessarily. It may not be that bad talking for a year, but then people want to be at the intimacy part. That's the part that's layer another conversation of the day. It's like, because I do believe at point in my life, not now, but when I started getting, a little older, I just started feeling like a lot of times we get so stuck on just meeting someone on the street and just trying to make that person your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your lover. Like, you need to build a friendship with these people first. That's me if I had it my way. I want my partner to be like my friend. Like, we're very close before we even get into that point. So I do think that, it could be someone that you've known. Maybe it's a bit different making someone your friend and then you end up in a relationship versus you dating someone for like a year. I understand that could be a bit odd, but when you really think about the concept, it does take time to
If
really
you
get to
want
know
to
someone.
touch my friend, then don't touch me.
Yeah,
Friends
and that's
don't.
why I said we could just be friends. Don't say you're gonna date me for a year plus, and then you want to be talking about we're not in a relationship. Then you want to be no, we're not doing all of that. But I do, when you really think about it, I do think that it does take time to really get to know someone. Of course, it doesn't.
It also depends. If you guys in the same city, y'all are spending adequate time, things can move quicker, right? Versus people in long. I think it's all about the effort. And then the
Right.
two people get into. It's not just the time. You could be talking to someone for a year, and someone talking to someone for 3 to 6 months has spent more time than you've spent with that person in a year. You get what I'm saying? So I feel, yeah, I get what you're saying. Trust me, like, am I talking too much? Last month, I was just like, trust me, I guess, like, I don't know why men think they're the only ones that get scared. I get scared too. You just meet someone, oh, Nnena, I really like you. You're all I want in a woman. It's been 4 days. Like, what do you really like about me? What do you really know? I know some men think that, like, women are so desperate and they're like, oh my God, yes, I want to settle down so bad. I'm just going to take anyone. No, like, we see red flags too. We get nervous too. It's just, I believe it's about balance.
When I said at that point I made earlier, I think women are more risk takers when it comes to these things. Like, they will still be scared, they may be hurt, but they're more willing to put that aside and take chance. I feel like once a man is like hurt or has bad experiences, it really like does something to them, and that's why the manosphere is so strong. Because
You don't think women are bitter and jaded and
women are bitter and jaded? I'm not arguing that, but I feel like
medication because of what men have done to them. Are you
yes,
serious?
but that same woman the next year will go and do it again and end up with the same type of guy. Like, they're willing to like take that. I'm telling you, compared to men, yes, they are more willing to take that chance. And also remember too, you may be thinking more about like Nigerian women or like women within our culture. I'm thinking about women just overall. When you hear about stories and things that women experience and they still go after it again, they still take that chance. Nah, I think women are definitely more risk takers.
More women in general. Like, I've heard more women of all cultures who just be like, I'm done with men. I'm staying by myself. Like, I'm gonna stay alone. Like, I hear about that more from women.
I guess I think like women are more like men also. Okay, maybe there's a difference is that
men move on.
True.
Yeah, things affect them, but they don't. Us women will be sad about a guy from 1 year ago. We'll still be lamenting, still be ruminating, still be having thoughts.
I don't ever want to be lamenting.
Flashback. Men, they could have dealt with you last month, last 2 months. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, they may. I'm not saying they're not human beings.
But you make my point. I always say all the time, I think that men move on quicker physically. Women move on quicker emotionally. So just because the man may go to the next chick the next month, but doesn't mean that you meet these guys and you really start talking to them, they're still very scarred. They just don't stay by themselves. So it doesn't mean that because now they go and they have a girlfriend or they go and do other stuff that they weren't still affected by those things. It's there too. It's impacting them too, but just by their nature, I feel like it's harder for a man to just say, I quit women, the way women could just say, I quit men. But even now, men are quitting women, men going their own way. It's a movement. They claim, I don't even know what they mean by really quitting women, if they're really just sitting by themselves and not the way I think of when a woman is doing it. Okay. Maximum 1. 0. Yeah, 0 to 1, half.
I don't mind dating younger, purely for the fact that they're more likely to not have children. 0 kids, please.
Honestly, no, Evie. But the issue with younger is that yes, 0 kids. But then we think about the money part. We not at that age. I feel like maybe if I was in my 40s or something, yeah, I would say, okay, I could date someone younger than me. If I'm 42, then a 37-year-old, we still grown. And we're still adults. That person still has, has some time in the work field. But if I'm dating younger and I'm not old, you're 30, 31, 32, and I'm dating someone 5 years younger than me, it's like, how long have they been working? Where are they financial mindset developed? I just feel like it could be a challenge in terms of like the financial
But
part
the
and
thing
like
is that he hasn't been as scarred, so
yes,
you
you're
can
right. Hmm.
you can kind of
And
well,
also the fact I still feel as if it may be in my head, it may be a cultural thing, but I still think if I was to go with someone younger, I'm thinking about 10, 15 years from now, I'm older than my man. And there's all these small, small girls coming up. Like I feel as if I want to still be like young for my like I would rather be like my man is 15 years older than me. So when he's 60, I'm still 45 looking hot, my stomach flat. If I need to go get tummy tuck, go do it. Like I'm like his little like I want to be walking around and like I'm like your little like arm candy. I don't want to be looking like I'm walking with my son at a certain point in my life. I know black don't crack, but I don't know. It may be in my head.
ACTV said JC is 12 years older than Beyonce. Do you guys think it's okay to date or talk to girls 10 to 12 years older than the girls, depending on the age you're in, right? So
I
you
would
didn't want.
me, yeah.
So I think the issue becomes in America. It's not. I notice American culture really frowns down like on dating older men.
But even with women, age gap is a big deal. Like people think 7 years is a big age gap. What's
It's more.
7
I
years?
feel like, but I think it's also like a pedophile nature it has to it in the American culture, which I can understand. But I think there's an age, right? So if you're a guy and you're 30, what are you doing with an 18-year-old?
Yeah, that's weird.
What are you doing with a 19-year-old? That's kind of young. But if you're
That's predatory. I don't care that they're legal. If you're 20, if you're a 30-year-old, if you're a 35-year-old man dating a 21-year-old girl, that something is there. That's off. But if you're 45 dating a 30-year-old woman, that 30 woman's a grown woman. Like it's
right,
just you know what I mean. At that point, like she's you know what I mean. She's grown. So I do think it's not just the years. It's where the starting point is. Like how young the woman is versus the man. It's not just 10 years or 15 years, but what is that? What are the ages? That also matters.
I could see why men go younger because let's be real, when you're doing young, you can manipulate them more. That's the truth. You
They
can
don't
take
rush you as much.
They
You
don't
take your
know. They don't know as much. They're more naive. I'm saying I've been younger. I'm still young, right? But I've been. There's nothing like being in your early 20s. That early 20s, I would say to 25, 26. Even when you think you're grown, you're still so young.
you don't
You're
know
still.
nothing.
Yeah. If he said 12 years is a lot, I couldn't do it. I could do
I
12
could
years.
do it. I could
The
do
master
12 years.
was 13 to 14. Mia, just say 15 years. What are you
And
doing?
that's for me also, man. It's also how you look. Same way men will, you are. Some of these men will be on this podcast. Oh, women. Oh, prime. Oh, danger zone. Blah blah blah. No, we in America. I'm telling you. I didn't tell a story how 25-year-old guy tried to talk to me in church. I was screaming. 25-year-old. It's not just your age. It's how you look. That's also a factor. All these men moving their lips. If Beyonce come up to them at 40, how old she is, 43, even if they're 30 years old, they all gonna want to date her. It's not just the age.
Listen, dating and marriage.
They will marry her. So shout out. These men just be talking, moving their lips. They don't know what they're saying. They would. They when they think of age, they think of also a look. We're in a new generation now. People look good. People look younger. People take care of themselves. Like that age thing is not like that big of a deal. Like the way people used to make it into. A lot of men would date a woman older than me. I'm telling you. From my experiences and the type of guy that younger men trying to talk to me, they don't care. Even Nigerian, even foreign ones, they don't care. I feel like that age thing is like it's kind of antiquated. I'm not saying that there's certain people like, oh no, like she needs to be younger than me, but I feel like it's not as big of a deal as we think.
It depends. Because you have the dating options improved in Houston. You mentioned that first.
Hey, remember everything, y'all. Hey, you got a good memory.
Yeah, we say everything on here.
Right.
Memory.
Honestly, I can't complain. Like kind of Nnena made the reference earlier. I feel like it's very convenient for women to always blame men, like when they're not having the outcomes they want, versus also taking accountability for where you are as well. I know I'm also part of the problem. I'm not gonna lie. I have my own, I won't go into detail. But yeah, it's gotten better for sure. It's gotten better.
And remember, TG said men can be alone, and it is rare a man don't have a woman he's talking to at any moment. Even
I agree.
One is nothing. And I think this is my issue I have, I'm not gonna lie, right? If I just really want to be honest, is that if I don't see someone in my future, like someone I can marry, I don't want to entertain you. Is that being too serious? Is that the African girl in me? Is that like is that me like being too rigid versus taking life a day at a time? Because if I can't see you in my future, especially at this point in my life, I feel like why why am I even talking on the phone with you? Why am I giving you my number? Like, why am I engaging with you? What is the purpose? What is the purpose?
I think I see. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's 1 to 2 years. Every that's your age mate. When I'm thinking about younger, I'm talking about women even going 10 years younger. Five, I can't date.
I wouldn't even want my age, man. I wouldn't even want younger.
Right.
I want like 35 plus. To be honest,
50.
what?
I want 50.
What places do you prefer to meet a man? I don't think the places matter. He said he'll reject Beyonce.
All right, come on, be there.
What places? I don't think the place matters, to be honest. I don't think so. In my opinion, I don't think.
But honestly, low key, I kind of prefer not to be somewhere that I'm going on a weekly basis. That's why low key, I feel like when people say church is good, church can be like a hit or miss. But it's like if it doesn't work, you're still seeing that person every week, and it could be kind of awkward. So like I prefer not to be like at work or like somewhere that I go on a frequent basis. That if things don't work out, I'm still have to be running into. I feel like it'd be a little bit uncomfortable.
Mia said, "Why can't you just be friends with the guy? If I don't see you in my future, you just get friend zone. That's it, hang out." But oh no, I have how I have most of my male friends. But I'm saying like I wouldn't. What I'm trying to say, because you said TG said that most men always have someone they're talking to. Like I wouldn't keep that person that I'm not attracted to. I don't see my future at all, and like be talking to them, like going out on dates and like talking on the phone and like I feel like I wouldn't. I feel like that's leading them on. Like if I don't see them in my future at all, just because I want to have someone to talk to, I want to have someone to keep me company. I'd rather just stay by myself. Like I don't see, but I feel like versus guys is a bit different because a lot of them they're not looking for marriage, right? They're not looking for serious, so they can keep girls around just for a good time or just for the moment or just
for physical needs,
right? For those physical needs, for the benefits, because they're not just gonna sit around by themselves. So I think that's why you hear a lot of girls crying more about like being lonely and single. I don't think men are here like when I see so many women complaining. I don't feel like men are complaining about being lonely and being single. I don't think men are as bothered because even if they're single, they're not necessarily lonely, right?
And because the power still lies in their hands when it comes down to relationships and marriage. So it is what it is.
I just say honestly, if he is 30, 35, that'll be my ultimate preference. That's still kind of tolerant-ish, but I can manage it. 35.
And also, these age ranges they vary based on ethnicity and race. So
economics.
Now a lot of factors impact these ages.
35 to 40 is cool, but you gotta have 0 kids. Okay, so we're gonna end this here. I have a question. I know Mia gonna love this question. I want the guys to answer. 30, 35 without kids is rare from a man. Really? That's not true. It's usually the men that women don't want. Yeah, we gotta get you out of Cincinnati. When are you in Cincinnati? Yeah, Cincinnati. That's just I was thinking about
Cincinnati or Toby.
Toby, I think it is. All right. So do y'all, to end this up, because of course we talk about relationship. For men, can a man, and this is a man's question, right? But women could comment as well. Do you believe a man can really like a woman, but not be ready to settle down?
Yes.
You're not a man. I want to hear from the men. Do you believe that a man can really like a woman and not be ready to settle down? I want the
Toby, Tavon, Wazzy TV. We need your answers in the comment section. We're waiting for y'all. Yes, totally. Even going back to TG, he the OG. Mia's here. And one video he has, and the video I watch about, I feel bad for some men over 30 who are still single.
Oh, men are annoying.
Yeah, listen. He said that he had to retract his comments before when he has said that men using money as not getting married is an excuse. That he has to retract that because after him being a coach and counseling and hearing what women want, that a lot of women they think you talked about how not asking for much. A lot of women don't realize how unreasonable they are and how much they want, even down to the ring. When it's time to get married, what they want from a guy, and a lot of men cannot financially. They feel like they need to be in a certain financial place to be serious with a woman. So he used to say that money's an excuse, money's an excuse. Men say that they don't have money as an excuse. He said he had to retract and take back that statement that money is a major reason, a very valid reason why a lot of men are not settling down, because women want too much, especially women of this day and age and social media. And they're seeing that they want to take this trip, they want this type of ring, they want 100K wedding, they want this and that. An average guy is going to struggle to keep up the demands of that woman. But this is my retaliation. This is, I always have to defend my gender. Is that we always talk about these type of things, these Instagram bodies, this aesthetic that a lot of men talk about. Those are not the average women. Those are a lot of the women that men are attracted to. So when men say that that's what most women want, for every woman that wants a 100K wedding, I would even argue there's more women that would be okay with a 10K wedding. That would be okay with the most, I'm telling you, if they really like the guy and the guy's a good person, that they would put that all aside and they would compromise on that to have a good relationship. It's just that though a lot of those women who will accept less in terms of those type of things, you don't have to be careful on words wrong line. They may fit a certain aesthetic. They may be a little more simpler. Thank you. They may be a little bit more basic. And a lot of men don't want to agree that they wouldn't really want those women if they really had a choice. They want those out there expensive looking women, and those women are going to cost you. So I don't think it's fair to make it seem as if like all women are. Yes, there are a lot of unreasonable women. We know that. There's a lot of women who are very materialistic. They want Chanel. They want this. They want to be traveling all the time. They're into that lifestyle. But that's not that's not the average woman. That's the type of women that a lot of men are attracted to, and they don't want to be accountable for that. That's not the average woman.
Yes, a man can easily like a female, wants to stay single and just mingle, not ready for commitment. Liking is not, I always say kindergartners like each other. First graders like each other. I don't view, liking someone is not hard. You can like someone in 2 weeks. You can like someone, people even like someone the first day they meet them, right? I'm not talking about just the like, oh, I'm talking about like truly like when I say being like in love, I'm talking about like you really like this person, like you view this person as someone that can be.
And yes, and I agree with all the men. I agree with Toby. I agree with Works World. I agree with Little Ernest. Haven said they're women they're attracted to want to, but yes, they like that aesthetic. So don't just blame women. Blame the type of women you like. Go for the simple Jane. Y'all don't want her. She'll take that 5K ring. She'll manage. She'll be happy with it, but y'all don't want her. But I think the point we have to make is that it goes back to the point we made about earlier about when we're talking about men not really staying by themselves, or I talked about low key even when I go out and I think to myself, would I want to meet somewhere out even though I'm out and I don't feel like because I'm out I'm a bad person. I feel like what a lot of women fail to realize is that when it comes to relationships, it changes the way you can live your life and the way you can move, especially for a man. Toby put wandering eyes. They're making all these comments. It's like you could really like someone, but you're not willing to stop. Like you're not willing to commit 100% and cut off your lifestyle. If you're a woman, like you mentioned right now, I don't even want to talk to a guy I don't really like. I'm not even interested in doing all this stuff. So to you, entering a relationship is not that much of an adjustment. You're not stopping something. Listen, it may be an adjustment in the sense that you're getting to know someone, you have to accommodate someone. You're not saying the point I'm making, but you're not making the sacrifice in the sense like, oh, I got to cut off my 5 side man, or I got to stop doing this, or I'm going to feel like I'm cheating. But if you're making the point that an average man don't even stay by himself, if he's entering a relationship now, there's a certain lifestyle he has to adjust to. And like I'm not giving men excuses, but you have to understand, looking at it from their perspective, like it can be a lot. And just because you like,
he said, a man can love someone be ready.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
100%. What you're saying, the stuff you talk about, like, oh, like right now, okay, I don't have a lineup of 10 people in my that I'm having fun with. Maybe like some guys I have. It's just saying my sacrifice will be lower, right, than a man. Like what I'll have to give up is less. But a serious-minded man wouldn't be living like that. A serious-minded man who's working towards that goal still shouldn't be all over the place. That's the point I'm making. Even if he's not in a serious relationship,
the ones that women are trying to enter relationships with, or is it the guy they just like, who they know low key isn't serious, but they just want? Is it the serious-minded guys, or is it just like, I get what you're saying, but life don't always work like that, right? You could like someone who's not a serious-minded person, and then what? Then what?
Haven said, then you don't really like them. That's Nena's point. That's just my point. I agree with Haven. When a man really likes a woman, he'll walk on hot coals and move mountains to be with her. And I stand.
I don't agree.
I really agree
When
with
a
that.
man really likes a woman and is ready, yes, and is ready, he'll walk on hot coals and move mountains to be with her. Yes, but I don't. I know I'm not a man, so I'm not here trying to speak for a man. But I'm telling you, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think someone could really like you, a man could really like you, but if he's not ready, he's not ready. And nothing it is not a personal thing. It's not about you or you not being good enough or not this and that. They're just not ready. And you can
Women
sit
take
there,
it personal sometimes.
right? They just not ready. They just not ready.
Loving someone and not being ready is different from loving someone and not being willing. Interesting. Works Rose said, then you give it all up and she leave you. Now you got none and she can find somebody quick. Stop it. Why is she gonna leave you? She not gonna leave you. She not gonna leave you. Lazy TV said, to me, if a guy is 35 to 40 with no kids, are guys that just put their career and life first before family and kids. Yes, they do want kids, but it's not the most priority for them. I am 34 and I have no kids. This whole thing about being a big deal as a man to not have kids is just really strange to me because when I hear the way it's like, oh, it's a big deal that a guy that's 30, you have like, huh? Like, isn't it normal that guys that are not married don't have kids?
No, because having a kid, you don't need to be married to have a child. Let's not act like kids now.
I don't think the typical person that's like, I don't know. I just feel like people make it seem like a lot of men have kids, and I feel like I meet a lot of men that don't.
I don't think that. I feel like people make it seem like a lot of women have kids. Men will come in some of my videos and make comments. Where the women with no kids? Where the women with no kids? They'll make it seem as if a lot of women have kids and are not married. I don't necessarily feel as if I don't know. Yeah, like nah.
I think ready is defined on an individual level for men because a man can be ready but not willing to walk on coals for you. Will still get married anyway. A lot of nuances there. You think everything been great. She got her ex of 5 years in her text. Woo! It's the type of man they want. It's the type
What do you mean the type of man the women want that are not ready? The type of men who are not ready is the type of man that women are attracted to. Like I get it. I'm like I said, and you could say it's an excuse, but I just feel as if getting older, I realize life is not always so black and white. It's not always because if I wanted something, I would do this and I would have it. There's a lot of life is lived in the gray area.
Okay, philosopher, let me ask you this simple question. If a man knows he's not ready and he meets a girl that from jump is looking for something serious, why talk to that girl if you know you're not ready?
Because he likes her. And sometimes they don't talk to you. Sometimes they'll let you know, they may feel as if because they let you know that they're not ready and they're still talking to you, that then they've done their part, right? Because we talk in this day and age, a lot of people, they'll be upfront with you. People know the trauma and all that stuff. They don't want to waste your time if they know they're not ready for those things. But a guy
upfront with me from the beginning, be like that I've entertained. I would never willingly entertain a guy from the beginning. Yeah, I might have seen some stuff by the way he moved, right? I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm big on accountability, but I've never had a guy open his lips and tell me from the beginning, well, you know,
it don't have to be specific. Oh, I'm not ready for something. It could be when they even make comments like, I'm not really crazy about marriage. I'm not ready for marriage anytime soon. If you're a woman, you marriage minded, you dating to get married, and a guy makes comments like that, and I don't really this marriage thing. Like, they just make some those type of comments like you already know. If you know you into that, that's not your person. Like, I feel like the point you're making, like someone has to be so direct and tell you, like, oh yeah, I'm not ready for, like, no, like it's actions, it's type of things they'll say, it's the way that they move. Like you will know, like this person not about that life. Yeah, it would be nice if everyone was so kind to also be, very like, specific, but everyone's not going to come out and just tell you that. You got to you infer and use your critical thinking because like, yeah, this guy is traveling every month to a new country. He's not ready to settle down. He want to still be with the boys and act like a little child. Like that's not my, you know what I mean? Like you see the life, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
The aesthetic of a man they want have kids, not a philosopher. Because they're hoping you'll settle for their willingness to settle down with you and just wait around.
Yep.
Aisha said, let's use the Cam Newton or Clay from Love is Blind aesthetic. There's a very high chance that those men have kids because they're sexually active and a ladies' man. Okay, that's a good point. I don't know. The aesthetic thing is getting corny. I'm outgrowing that. Y'all notice that in real life, not social media. married people don't fit an aesthetic. I don't understand. Y'all notice that in real life, not social media, married people don't fit. I think when a lot of people, Evie, are talking about aesthetic, they're just being honest that, like, in their opinion, the type of attractive guys, I'm gonna be real too. I'm gonna be real. I don't want to say too much, but there's a look that, like, the type of guys that just get a lot of attention.
Same. Someone made a comment about live talking about a lot of the reason why some people are singles is very attractive women and attractive men because they have a lot of options. Remember that live? I forgot the person that made that comment. I never looked at it that way, but like I think aesthetic and people refer to it as more like this look. Like people talk about like the bag aesthetic, this thing, and like people can look at someone and be like, yeah, like this girl she has a lot of options. This guy, he has a lot of options. Like they're highly sought after. It doesn't mean that that's like the perfect look or that everybody likes that look because everybody has different things they like. But we also know there's a beauty standard of beauty. Doesn't mean that that's right and that that's the only one and that everyone should adhere to that. But we would be remiss to act like it doesn't exist because it does. Like height, that's part of the aesthetic. You see a guy who is tall, 6 foot. You see a guy who is six pack. He has a good job. That's that aesthetic that a lot of girls are chasing. That I guess what's his face falls into because I didn't really follow that show. But yeah, and then people say you see a guy that looks, kind of like he wouldn't be the average girl's first pick. This height thing got girls in a chokehold. It really got the females in a chokehold.
I'm gonna post on Instagram with my 5'9" man. Y'all gonna be y'all.
I gotta be 6 foot or shorter, even 5'10". Tall men misbehave. I'm telling y'all, girls, run away. You see one here, run this way.
No, 5'10" can misbehave. 5'11" can still misbehave.
That's how I'm about to put 5'9", maybe 5'9" or shorter, because tall men misbehave. I'm telling you.
Unfortunately, a lot of women are not attracted to men of a certain aesthetic. A lot of guys are caught up in looking for an Instagram baddie. When I see married couples in real life, they look like normal people. Some look like opposites attract, some look alike, and very few look picture perfect. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
A guy can like and chase a pretty girl for months, and the moment he gets with her for a few months, he realizes she's not for her. It happened. Just like hunting, looking for the best job and realize it's not for you. Okay. Men want to settle down. Do y'all watch the men's channels? They're saying the same thing in a different way. Okay, works well. So you're part of the manosphere. You're saying that they want. So they're saying they want to settle down.
Women want too much. Women don't cook and clean. They have attitude issues. Trust me, you can't unless you live in Iraq. They will tell you that they're not settling down to work world points as a result of. They'll tell you they don't find women. They don't find marriageable women. They don't find reasonable women. I don't know where they live. I don't know where they're going to search for women, but they'll tell you that they don't find women. They would. I'm telling you, it's only until I moved to Houston that I heard men equally complain about the dating as women. I'll even argue men may even complain a little more than the women about dating. I was just like, because I just feel like being a woman, because men are the ones the gatekeepers of marriage and relationships. You always feel as if like they have it easier. Like, why are you not in if you want to be in a relationship? Why are you not in a relationship? Why are you not a partner? Why are you talking about you're struggling from like it doesn't make it never made sense to me because I'm like, if you want to make a decision, like the ball is in your court. I can't lie. If I see a 40-year-old man who's single and a 40-year-old woman who's single, I don't view it the same. Not to say that the woman may have not made certain choices, didn't put herself out there. I'm not going to, like we said, we're all about accountability on this channel. Things don't necessarily just happen to people. It's rare. There's always situations that lead to it. But I'm going to be way harder on the 40-year-old man who is single than a 40-year-old woman. Way harder. Because I feel as if like you're a man. You want a woman, do the work, go find one, go. But I'm telling you, men will say it's not that simple. They will tell you they don't find the women that are marriageable. They don't find. That's why they get in their passports.
I already have my passport because where we going?
We going? I don't know. Where we going? To Cabo?
Girl, women are doing it too. You see a lot of women going to.
Women. So people, the men are telling you there's not marriage-minded women. The women are saying there's no the men. Both people are telling you, even that Atlanta where people are saying, oh, there's no man. Also, men will also tell you, despite it being how many women to a man that they can't find reason. The women are this, the women are ghetto, the women are just want money, the women want. They will also complain that they can't find reasonable women. Despite being outnumbered, despite having that advantage. So it does go both ways. Y'all the only woman trying to watch Ella, but it's hard. You just have to put your man's shoes on and think about it. And don't think too much, Works World, because I know you joined a little later, but I talked about, I've noticed that I just feel as if when men hit a certain age, they just start overthinking a lot of things, especially when it comes to relationships and marriage. They overthink. If I may, oh, but if she leaves me, life is about risk. You go in your car every day, there's a risk that something may happen. Every day we take risks. Of course, there's calculated risk, there's safer risk. I'm not about just taking, random risks. Of course, you want to do your due diligence and try, but you'll never have all the answers. You'll never know if something is 100% correct. When it comes to these things, there's always some type of risk involved. It's not going to go away because you get older. It even becomes more riskier. You have more, you know more. So I feel as if like we just have to stop thinking so much and just sometimes just live, man. Like protect yourself. If you're that afraid of your money, get your prenup. If the woman don't want to sign it, then she's not the one for you. Because any reasonable woman should be willing to sign a reasonable prenuptial agreement. That's, I keep saying, a reasonable one with a cheating clause involved. But any woman should be but it's like it's y'all be thinking too much this day and age. I'm sorry. If my father waited to the age some of these guys are waiting, I wouldn't be here. So we gotta help ourselves. But let's get through the rest of these comments. The crazy part is my friend is a wedding planner. She just said people are getting married this much right now. Business women, yeah, and that's the thing. The media thrives off of negativity. Like I'll talk about the news cycle. If you sit down and watch the news all day long, you won't leave your house. You won't leave your apartment. You will just sit in the shell, scared to live life. And I feel as people always say bad news travels farther than good news. Like one of my guy friends called me a week ago and was telling me about some law. So basically about dating people like in other countries or like dating people that need like help or whatever. And I was like telling him like I would never do that, blah blah blah. And he's like, he was like, the issue is that when people see these examples of like maybe women who have like dated, like brought men over, or they see examples of women who have like helped men financially, only when it goes bad are those stories really pushed out to you. But there's way more women who have taken that risk and it worked well for them. But you're not going to hear about that because good news doesn't travel. It's only the bad news that travel. I'm like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm still not doing that. But I get what the point you're trying to make is that like all this stuff is like it's hyped. It's only when if crashes and the bad happens, people say, "Oh, look, this is why you shouldn't have done this." Oh my God, blah blah blah. But like the same places that people say, "Oh, there's no man. Oh, it's so difficult." We can have 2 weddings every weekend. People are in this Houston. Every weekend, people are getting married. Every weekend.
Another argument will say that the marriages last because it's issue to get married. But a place like Houston, you hear about a lot of, even in our culture, a lot of people divorce. A lot of different.
I think that's the oldest marriage.
Yeah. Hearing people to be divorcing, that is not common. That is not.
From my understanding, we'll end here. The men be misbehaving. That's also comes to the fact that why I don't understand sometimes as women why we act so like naive as to why a lot of men are hesitant to marry, because they also know there's consequences now. The average woman expects a lot from a man. It's not just money. It's not just bags. It's not just shoes. It's also behavior. The standard that we expect a lot of men to rise to when it comes to behavior, a lot of men will tell you that's not really realistic. Yeah. And they don't want to go take the risk and enter something knowing if they make one mistake, one small cheating, it's over. You know what I mean? Because a lot of women, let's be real, we're not that tolerant. We're not. Like a lot of women will tell you, I don't accept this. Cheating is a non-negotiable for me. I'm walking away first time. A lot of men can't sit there and commit and say, I will never make that I may never do that. So that's also what's going through some, guys, y'all can speak. I'm not a man, but I have guy friends, having conversations. This is also what's going through their head is a lot of them know they can't really commit to it the way that women want them to. So what's the point?
Stay single if you can.
Right. So it's like, why I'm jumping to something I know I can't really commit to. And then a year, 2, 3, 5 years down the line, it's over. So, it is valid. AGT said I need to be in contact with y'all so I can get to my Houston Dollars. All right. We're gonna start up some be on the lookout because we're gonna have some calls coming up soon, some sessions that we're gonna be scheduled have the you all can schedule time with us. We're gonna start it off free for a couple of weeks, then see how things go. But yeah, look out for that. Works for you. should watch I Am's Fix Fit Austin Dunham and do a comparison video, and I agree. All right. Thank you all so much for watching, y'all. We have to make up for not being here for 3 weeks. Make sure you like this video, subscribe. It's not too late to super chat. Appreciate this live, and we'll see you all. We going live next week?
Maybe.
Maybe. But we'll let you all know. Make sure you subscribe.
Do every other weekend, every other Tuesday.
Make sure on the community tab so you can see our updates. So we'll post when we're not going live. When we are going live, we usually try and schedule it 24 hours before so you guys can see it. But yes, thanks for joining, Hayden. Good luck with everything. Bye, everyone.
Good night. Good night.